change his mind. So Gil had come. His friend would need him after his relatives had conveyed him home and returned to their own families. "Ah," the Duke of Netherby said now, looking at his carriage through the quizzing glass he raised to his eye. "A sight for sore eyes. How much did you wager, Harry, that my carriage would not be here?" "Absolutely nothing, if you will recall," Harry said. "It would be more than the life of your coachman is worth, or his livelihood anyway, to be late." "Quite so," His Grace said with a sigh. "Let us go find a nearby inn and enjoy a good English breakfast. I dare say there will be a meaty bone somewhere on the premises too." The meaty bone would be for Gil's dog, a great lump of a canine of indeterminate breed that had followed him from Waterloo to England to St. Helena to France, and now back to England. She stood panting at Gil's side, happy, he believed, to have her paws on firm soil again. Within moments she was inside the Duke of Netherby's carriage with the rest of them, draped over Gil's feet like a large sheepskin rug, and half over Riverdale's boots too. The carriage transported them the short distance to what Gil did not doubt was the best inn in Dover, where three of them ate a hearty breakfast, and Harry nibbled, without enthusiasm, upon a piece of toast. His Grace then called for pen, ink, and paper, and wrote a brief note to inform his Duchess of their safe return to England and of the change in their planned destination. His relatives had intended to take Harry to London, where other relatives awaited him, including his mother, the Marchioness of Dorchester, and one of his sisters. But Harry had insisted upon going to Hinsford Manor in Hampshire, where he had grown up. He wanted the quiet of the countryside, he had explained to Gil. More to the point, he wanted to avoid being fussed over, and fussed over he would be if he went to London. Having arranged for the note to be sent, His Grace joined the other three in his carriage, and it proceeded northward without further delay. It was certainly a comfortable carriage, Gil conceded. It also attracted the gawking attention of everyone it passed. Harry, on the seat opposite, next to Riverdale, was even paler than usual, if that was possible, and thin almost to the point of emaciation. His good looks and ever-cheerful, energetic charm had deserted him. He was 26 years old, 8 years younger than Gil. Apparently, for the 6 months following Waterloo, the army physicians had been in daily expectation of his dying. He had been taken to Paris after the first month. Why not back to England? None of the military authorities seemed to know. Even after the 6 months, he was being assailed by one infection and fever after another, only to have to face a painful, life-threatening surgery 5 months ago to remove an embedded bullet, which his surgeons judged had shifted closer to his heart. Having it removed would very possibly kill him, they had warned. Not doing so certainly would. He had survived the excruciatingly painful ordeal, but the renewed infections and fevers had almost killed him anyway. Gil hoped the ordeal of their trip would not accomplish what all the fevers and infections had been unable to do. He hoped Harry would survive the journey, which Gil had encouraged and arranged. "You must be happy to be back in England, Harry," Riverdale said, "though it is unfortunate you are being treated to a typical English welcome." He gestured toward the window. Heavy clouds hung low over a landscape that was being buffeted by a west wind and assaulted by a slanting rain. "It is indeed a good feeling," Harry said, gazing out upon the scene. "But I have been thinking and wondering. I suppose it is altogether possible I will be descended upon, not just by rain in the next week or so. Do you think there is any chance the family will come visiting, since I am not going to London to visit them?" "I would certainly not wager against it," Alexander said. "They have all been eagerly awaiting your arrival in London. I doubt your choosing to go to Hinsford instead will deter them. It is not terribly far from London after all." "The devil," Harry muttered, closing his eyes and setting his head back against the plush cushions. "I suppose," Riverdale added, "you have..."